This used to be me. I know, what an idiot. Why? Because I refuse to watch 15-minute videos on how to manage my time. Luckily for you, you don't have to. We're gonna work you through this in only 5 minutes, so let's go, roll the timer. Is this you, little bro? If it is, know that it isn't you being lazy or whatever. This is called reaction mode, and it is frying your brain. According to 158 entire studies done by actual scientists, they said that time management only has a quote-unquote moderate impact on your grades. Well, if that's the case, then what's the real issue? The real issue is your psychological well-being. Simply being organized with your environment is good. It makes you feel way less stressed, but the catch is that being organized doesn't actually mean you're getting any work done. You can have a pretty calendar, an in-depth task list, a clean room, but that won't save you from failing your exams if you aren't doing your important tasks. Alongside this, if you ever feel overwhelmed by work, that's due to something called time leaks. A time leak isn't you planning to watch another episode of Prison Break this afternoon. It's actually all the smaller stuff that spends up 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there until your whole afternoon is gone. And one example of that is that bad habit of scrolling on TikTok and Instagram once in a while. According to the BBC, which is totally the most reliable source obviously, they say that the two biggest problems are the DIY trap and notification source. The DIY trap is when you waste 3 hours trying to fix a specific issue yourself instead of just asking for help or moving on. For example, you don't need to make your notes fancy. You can work without your morning Starbucks coffee. Everything will be okay. Just get to work and write stuff down, man. And notification fatigue, on the other hand, is when your brain is just so fried from your phone pings that you stop working and start wasting time instead. For example, you don't need to text that one girl right now, and you can live without having to look at the number of likes you have on your TikTok. Everything will be fine, just put the phone down. And to help you with that, here's a 3-step framework to help you get rid of those time leaks. I call it the PPP method. It sounds weird, I know. First, prioritize. This step takes advantage of what's called the rule of 3. Every morning, pick out 3 super important tasks. And that's it. You can think of it like a jar of sand and rocks. If you don't put these big rocks into your schedule first, like getting the assignment done or studying for that midterm, then the sand, i.e. the emails, the DMs, the chores, will take up the rest of your day and the big rocks will no longer fit in. Not only is this just super efficient for getting work done, but it also applies to your life in general. Learn to prioritize what's important and leave the extra stuff as an afterthought, not as an escape. Second, plan. Stop multitasking, brother. It's a myth. It doesn't work. Use batching. Check all of your Instagram messages from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Outside of that, keep your phone down and away. You don't need to stay on call with your homies while you write your essay unless they are actively helping you. Outside of the free time you've given yourself, the tab stays closed. No exception. And lastly, protect. This is probably the hardest part. When you are working on one of the big important tasks, the phone, it goes in another room. The TV and PS5, they stay unplugged and away. Out of sight and out of mind, y'all. Let that sink in!
So in the past, I would just work and work until I exhausted myself, and then I would go on a break, and eventually I'd give up. This would leave me unmotivated, and more often than not, I wouldn't return to complete the work. But now that I dedicate certain hours to rest and certain hours to work, I'm able to keep myself motivated and work at a more efficient pace without losing focus, while ensuring that I get my rest, because now I know what to do and how to do it because I have it planned out in advance.
The biggest time wasters for me is the consistent phone use and poor organization. Before, I would check notifications, doom scroll on social media, or reply to messages. This broke my concentration and made simple tasks take so much longer. By putting my phone out of reach or putting it in a different room and also planning my tasks ahead of time, I was able to stay more focused and move through my work more efficiently.
One of my biggest challenges was time management. Balancing university, working 40 hours a week, and going to the gym often felt overwhelming. I used to feel stressed because there was always something I needed to do, and being overwhelmed by the amount of work I had was my biggest problem. But now that I strictly focus on 3 big tasks per day, it becomes way more manageable. That strategy helped me stay organized, reduce stress, and use my time more effectively. Now I feel a lot more control of my schedule and more confident balancing everything.
You are protecting your focus from the reaction mode trap I spoke about earlier. Do not be like that guy. He's an idiot. So lock in. Boom, it ain't even 5 minutes. I'm just so good at this.